Hiya too. How you doing? So I just thought I'd do a little recap on o'clock and half past. So what do we need to remember when it's o'clock? Which hand do we need to look at? That's right, we need to look at the minute hand. And the minute hand is the longer hand. And that hand will tell us whether it is o'clock when it's pointing to the top or half past when we've travelled halfway round to the 6. Okay, so at the minute hand is at the top, and when it's at the top, it's o'clock. Now, I wonder what o'clock it is. How can we find out that? That's right, we need to look at where the hour hand is. So the hour hand is the shorter hand, and that at the moment is pointing to the 9. So when the hour hand is pointing to the 9, it means it's 9 o'clock because we're at the top. Okay, so if I changed where the hour hand was pointing, the hour hand's pointing to the 11 now, so the short hand's pointing to the 11, and the minute hand, the longer hand, is still at the top. So when it's at the top, it's o'clock, and the minute hand is at 11, so it's 11 o'clock. Let's just try one more. Where's it going to stop? The minute hand, where's that pointing? That's to the top, isn't it? Which means it must be an o'clock. And where is the hour hand pointing? It's pointing to the 2, so you got it, it's 2 o'clock. Fantastic. So can you remember how last week we were doing half turns and quarter turns? Well, if we look now at doing a half turn, so this minute hand is going to take a half turn round the clock. If it takes a half turn, where does it end up? That's right, it ends up at the 6, doesn't it? So now that it's at the 6, we've done a half turn, which means we're halfway round the clock, which means it must be half past the hour, okay? So when the minute hand's at the 6, it's half past. Okay. Now, this hour hand has moved away from the 2, but it hasn't got to the 3. So if it's after the 2 but not before the 3, that means it's something past 2. Okay? And we know the minute hand has gone halfway round, which means it must be half past 2. Okay, let's have another go. Where's it going to stop? Have a little look. Woo! Okay, so the hour hand is in between the 3 and the 4. So it's after the 3, and the minute hand, the longer one, is still at the 6. So it's still halfway round from the start, which is 12, which means it must be half past 3. That's right, because it's halfway past the 3. Okay, let's have another go. Where do you think it stopped? Have a little guess. Still going. Okay, so the minute hand is at the 6, and when it's at the bottom, it's travelled halfway round, which means it must be half past. And how do we find out what it's half past? That's right, we need to have a look at where the hour hand's pointing. And the hour hand pointing after the 8, but it's not got to the 9 yet. So it must be half past 8. That's right, well done. Okay, let's see if we can mix it up just a little bit. Let's see, where's the clock going to stop? We've had this one before. The big hand, the minute hand, is at the top, and when it's at the top, it's o'clock, which means the hour hand's at 11, so it must be 11 o'clock. Well done, good job. Let's have another little go. So now the minute hand's at the 6. So it's travelled how far? It's travelled halfway around, so it must be half past. Let's have a look at that hour hand. It's after the 12, but not at the 1 yet. So it must be 12:30. That's right. Let's do one more. Oh, okay. So now, it's at the 6 again, which means it must be 12:30. And where's the hour hand pointing? The hour hand is between the 4 and the 5, which means it must be 4:30. Okay, have a little look on the flip chart that I've given you to see if it makes sense, and if not, give me a little shout, okay? Good luck. You know you're 12:30 and o'clock, so you're going to be absolutely fine. Well done.